Hi guys, I'm back. Um, Something's going wrong with my internet. I don't know how long. It may shut down, but I want to ask you something. How prepared are you? How prepared are we? Because we know it. All this stuff is going on around the earth. All of it is going on around the earth. Uh, you got the earthquake. We got an earthquake every day now. Have y'all noticed? Uh, Yellowstone is rumbling. Have y'all paid any attention? Uh, Do anybody go on YouTube or Google and look at what's going on, because it pops up out there right for us, in the front of us, talking about Yellowstone's rumbling and the earthquakes, and we got the flash flooding. We got everything going on. But I just want to ask you, how prepared are you? How prepared are we? Because if Yellowstone erupts, it's going to take out everything on that side where Yellowstone is. And see, I think, and California is even on that side. So California is. They have been telling people to leave California because it's going to go into the ocean, and it is, because I saw it break off. It literally broke off. So I'm wondering, how prepared are we? Because if Yellowstone erupts, it's going to be so big. It's going to be huge. And I just want to know, are we prepared? Because I was looking at, we look at Genesis, and Genesis, it deals with Pharaoh's two dreams. You know what they pertain to, and when Joseph interpreted it, he interpreted it as you're going to have 7 years of harvest time, and then you're going to have 7 years of lean time. And so we have to understand that it it has been said over and over and over that there is a famine coming. Not only a famine of food, but a famine of the word as well. When we look at Amos 8 verse 11, it tells us, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of God." And guys, we are there. We're there. We literally got churches doing these little crazy things called boots on the ground. I'm going, what in the world is that? And it's these people that have you put your cowboy hat on and you put your boots on and you over there with some crazy secular song in the church. What has happened to the fear of God? Let me tell you, nobody has it anymore. People think that since God has tarried his coming, he ain't coming. Well, I got news for you. He said he coming. He showed me he was coming. He showed me walking the earth, and as he walking the earth now, he is not pleased. So we wonder why famine is coming. We wonder why the earth is regurgitating. It's regurgitating under the sickness of people who have no regard for God. Tell the truth, shame the devil. And we don't. We dress like we want. We say what we want to at the church. We do what we want. We have our picks and our choose who we want to pray for, who we want to be friends with. I mean, we got all of that going on in the church, and we call ourselves children of God. You're children of something, but I doubt very seriously if it's God, if you're not treating men right. You're not treating men and women right. So when Pharaoh gave him this dream, you know the story. He interpreted it, and then so he put him over the he put him over, gathering the food and everything in Genesis. Guys, go over there and read Genesis chapter 41. I'm not going to do your work for you. We are all supposed to be stewards of God's word. If we are in the household of faith, we are stewards. Now, whether we like it or not, some stuff you got to do yourself. It's just like if you get ready to go to work in the morning, ain't nobody gonna put your makeup on you. Ain't nobody gonna give you no bath. Nobody's gonna put your clothes on. Nobody's gonna put you in your car, and nobody's gonna drive you to work. Excuse me. So you gotta do your own work. That's why this Bible is so full of scripture, so many words, so you can read for yourself. So go read Genesis chapter 41. You'll understand Pharaoh's dreams. You'll understand what they pertain to. And then you'll understand who could interpret the dream and who could not interpret the dream. So here we are. We get over here, and after the dream, he said 7 years. You're going to have 7 years. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. God has showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. Now, God is showing us every day what he is about to do. Are we looking? Are we discerning the times? I mean, not that he's coming, but you need to be prepared for the things that are coming before he comes. And we seem to just be riding around like, oh my God, I'm in this winter wonderland. I'm in this sunny wonderland, and I can stay over here and nothing's gonna happen to me. The devil is a lie. You need to come up out of there. Wake up. There are things happening all around us. And we sit around and act like there's nothing going on with our heads in the sand. But it is. So he told him what he is about to do. He said, the 7 good kine are 7 years, and 7 good ears are 7 years. So the dream is one. And the 7 thin and ill favorite kind that came up after them are 7 years. The kind are, he's talking about cattle. The kind, 7 years. And the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. Okay? So he tells them about the famine, and he knows. And so what he did was he went and prepared. So people saying that God is going to take care of me. He's taking care of you because he's telling you to get ready. He's got people coming on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I don't know. I believe they're doing it on TikTok. I don't have any of those. I have YouTube, but the rest of them I don't. But my sister sends me stuff from uh from Facebook, and people are talking about the same thing. So they're telling you, they're preparing you. He's getting you prepared, and you study saying God is going to take care of me. Well, just like the little girl on Leave the World Behind, she said the Lord had sent the man. The man asked God why he didn't come to save him. And he told me, he said, well, I sent you a rowboat. He said, and I sent a helicopter, to come and get you. And he asked him, what more do you want? So God's got people on YouTube telling you that there's a famine coming. I mean, whether you want to hear them or not, everybody got their picks and chooses, and I really don't care who likes me or who don't like me. But I know one thing. I know that he's been talking about this famine as far as I know since 2009, that there's a famine coming, and we need to get ready for it. And so we keep telling people that the famine coming, but people act like nothing's happening. Well, my question to you is the what do you call this thing? The warehouses are growing short of food. So when the warehouses grow short of that food that you think that some miraculous way put itself into a can and put itself on a shelf to wait for you to be able to get it, the, the fantasy days are over. When the warehouses run out of food, I got news for you. If you're not growing anything in your backyard or in your garage or wherever you can get anything to grow it, put it in the kitchen in front of the patio. When you run out of food that you can go over on the shelf and get out of the grocery store, and that's any grocery store, wherever the big box, that's the like what is it? Target, that's like Sam's and Costco and all those. When those people have went and got everything they can out of their warehouses, and the only thing in there is pieces of paper or trash because there's nothing left, what in the world are you going to do? Have you asked yourself that? Those of us that have children, not only one child, some of us got as many as 9 and 10 children, and they're all staffed. What are you going to do if you don't have any milk for them? If you don't have any ugh, that stuff called baby food? We didn't do that back in my day. No, 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 no. They ate what we ate. We fixed it to where they could eat it. So we don't be getting no crazy stuff out of no jar with Gerber on the front of it. Gerber was our kitchen. We mixed that stuff up and gave it to our babies. Bean juice, with a little cornbread or just a little bean juice with a little mashed bean in there and stuff like that. What are you gonna do when you're used to the system? I got news for you. The system has failed, and we need to prepare ourselves for that failure. And if we haven't, you read all the time about people breaking into people's houses and they don't get out because people kill them. If you don't have anything else on your mind but breaking in somebody's house to get something, guess what? They may as well dig a hole for you in the backyard because you get in there, you are not going to walk out of there. This is just real talk. People people everywhere got guns now. Even the people that ain't supposed to have guns got guns. And if you break in their house, they gonna shoot you. So what we need to be doing is preparing. I'm just trying to put it out there, just straightforward. There's no sense in sugarcoating it or nothing. You break in somebody's house, they gonna kill you. And when we have children, and even if we don't have children, if we like to eat, I like to eat. I be trying to concoct me something. That's why I like to can. I put my own stuff in a jar. I know what's in it. My vegetables I got out of my backyard, I got out of my freezer, are going in there. But anyway, things are going on in the land of Pharaoh. Pharaoh had his soothsayers and all of them to come and interpret a dream, but they couldn't. So the butcher told him that he had somebody in the his wife told him they had somebody they could interpret dreams because he interpreted for, two of the Pharaoh's people that he had put in jail. So he went and got him, and so while he told him what was going on, and he told him you're gonna have 7 years of famine. I mean, what is so hard to understand about having 7 years of famine? I think it's because we have that Noah mentality. Since it had never rained, nobody believed it, and guess what? Everybody lost their life but 8 people. So we get in a scenario like that, and there's nothing in the warehouses, and there's nothing in the grocery stores. I mean, you get down to that stage where people. You see people, they have just took over Washington D.C., breaking in and robbing and stuff like that. That doesn't even make any sense. I'm not gonna take something that's not mine. For the simple fact is, if I get over there and try to take it, and then somebody shoot and kill me, whatever you doing when the Lord called you home, keep on doing it. So if you over there breaking in somewhere and somebody shoot and kill you, you gonna be pegged as a thief when you stand in the judgment. So now we looking over here, and I already read you what the 7 years of famine. He said, "This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh." What God is about to do, He showed unto Pharaoh. I don't know why He showed it to Pharaoh, but He showed it to him nevertheless. And so, behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt, and there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land, and the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of the famine following, for it shall be very grievous. Now, I got news for you. The famine that we're going to go through is going to be very grievous. That's why you need to get you something prepared. FEMA is telling you to prepare you some food. Get you some water. We already know that the water is drying up. You look at Lake Mead and all these other lakes that are drying up. The water that's drying up is the water that we drink. It's not the seawater because we can't do anything with that, I don't think. But it's the fresh water that is depleting. Do any of y'all uh, Google this stuff? I mean, I was one of them weirdos. I'm over there Googling the GDP. I'm over there Googling the United States deficit. I'm doing stuff like that. Why I did not know, but I was always curious. What's that GDP now? What's it look like? And you go in there, it didn't look good then. And I got news for you. It does not look good now. And people need to stop trying to put us in a place to where we gonna keep these rose-colored glasses on. That's why my glasses just have a little tint because I don't need on no shades to keep me from seeing what's going on. I don't want to be in a place where I can't see the forest for the trees. Guys, we got a lot going on. They're talking about Yellowstone. They said Yellowstone been rumbling. They talked about this 3 weeks ago. It's been rumbling, and they talk about all the earthquakes that we have had, and it's something to do with the platelets under the ocean that shift to cause the earthquakes, and the earthquakes are literally triggering the volcanoes. And I don't know, I'm not a seismologist or whatever they call themselves, but it has a lot to do with that. And we still sit back and think that That's not going to affect us. Did you not realize that if Yellowstone erupts, it's going to shoot this black ash thousands of feet in the air, and it's going to be so thick you're not going to be able to breathe. It's going to hide the sun. You're going to be in pitch black. Y'all saw Dante's Peak. Has anybody looked at Dante's Peak? When you get off of here, go and watch the movie Dante's Peak. I done seen it I don't know how many times. But either way it goes, all of that's going to be covered up. It's going to be hard to drive because the ash is going to be so thick. And then if you're going to be walking outside, you have to have a mask on because that stuff is going to be so thick. And you literally, that's like, it's a sulfur that's going to be in the air. You can't breathe sulfur. I mean, and live. I mean, and have some good oxygenated uh, oxygen out there, whatever they call it. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not one of those with big words because I didn't like science in school, and I got news for you. I don't like it now. But either way it goes, I have to look at some things so I can get a little bit of an understanding, so I can try to explain a little bit of something. But guys, the earth is going through. The earth is literally regurgitating under our skin. It's the and the sad thing is the people that are unsaved are holding conversations and they know more than the ones that sit up in the church and flap on jingle bell that they're saved, that they're Christian. My son was telling me, Mama, I got some friends that don't even believe believe in God, but they out here talking about what's going on. And they up in here talking about they're preparing. So if the unsaved are preparing, no, it, no matter what it looks like. I mean, you can go in the grocery store all day and look, and you see stuff study leaving the shelf. You'll see stuff pushed to the front, and nothing behind it. You see all of this, but then we just walk on past it. I don't need it right now, so I'll come back and get it next week. Next week will never come. If you're sitting and thinking they're gonna keep stuff on the shelf to wait for you to come back and decide you want to go grocery shopping, or decide you need you some feminine hygiene stuff, or you need you some extra underwear, whatever you wear and stuff, you thinking you're gonna go back next week and get it, that stuff is not gonna be there. Now, whether we like it or not, it's not. And Amos is pointing out to us the same thing. 8:11, he's talking about the famine. The famine of the word is already here. We don't want to hear nobody preach that. We don't want nobody to tell us the truth. We want somebody to tickle our ears and tell us that things are just going to be great. They're going to always be beautiful. But that's a lie. Things are not always going to be beautiful. If that's the case, it would not have been so much death in this book. So much judgment would not have been wrote about in this book if we were not going to have to go through judgment. Israel is going through it now. They went through it then. Have they learned? So what we got to understand is the Lord keeps telling me to tell people about this famine. And you know what I be telling God? God, I keep telling people. I tell them. I tell them. You say, I'm tired of telling. And he said, well, you can't make up your mind and say you're not going to say anything, because the minute I say I do, it's one of those Jeremiah experiences. It's just like fire shut up in your bone. You got to tell it. If it's in, you got to tell it. So I'm telling you, guys, you have got to prepare something. You got to get you some water, set you up a water catchment system. What I did was I bought a 32-gallon garbage can, the rubber one, and I cut a hole in the side. I ordered my spigot. I ordered my netting. See my nettings right here? These are my nettings. I ordered my spigot. It's right here on the other side. I drilled a hole in it, and I put the spigot in. And the only thing I got to do now is wash it and put it outside for the next big rain, because I missed this one. And then get you some of those pills that go in there that purify water. You can even get the ones that go in the swimming pool. Those aqua pills they sell over there in the stores and stuff. That's what everybody else is buying. That's why when you go in the store, the ones that looking for them can't find them. Then you got to go over there on Amazon or somewhere and order some. But either way it goes, get what you need. I hate to keep telling the same thing, and then people end up in a situation where they can't get what they need for fear of going out there. And if you go to get it, people will fight you for it. They'll shoot you or whatever. they can do. That's what they will do. So we're gonna have to get ourselves situated. Stop laying around playing like uh nothing's gonna happen. I hope y'all hear that noise in the background. That's my canner. I'm canning up some of my vegetable stew. But we got to. We should have been ready. 2026, when it comes in, it's coming in with a bang. It is not going to be a good bang. It's going to be a bad bang, and we need to get ourselves situated for it. We can't We cannot wait till the last minute to go get anything. We cannot wait till the last minute to order the supplies that we need. Because you're gonna need something. You're gonna need some lighting. You're gonna have to have duct tape because you're going to have to seal your windows with some plastic to keep that stuff from coming in. You're gonna have to make sure you got duct tape and stuff around the doors. If you got that little, how every all doors got that little crack. You can see a little bit of light through. Make sure you got a way to block that and just get yourself prepared because you're gonna need it. You're gonna have a way to warm up you some food. You're gonna have to have water set aside for washing dishes. If you use dishes, your best bet get some paper plates, paper bowls, styrofoam bowls, styrofoam cups, some plastic cutlery, so you ain't gotta wash no dishes. You know what I did? Every glass I had in my cabinet, it left here about 2, 3 months ago. I put them in some garbage bags and throw them in the garbage can. There was no sense in setting that out there by the road for somebody to come and get it and think they done found a treasure. That's not a treasure. You got to wash those glasses when we come up on this darkness and we come into this situation that we are in. Because we're literally in it. And I always call us the frogs sitting in a pot of cold water, and the water is heating up, and we still swimming around in there because our body has adjusted to the water. Well, when that water gets really hot and too hot, and it starts burning your skin, and you can't swim to get out of it, what's left? Just like the frogs, you be laying up in there, floating back up or belly up or however it is, dead because that water has killed you. It's gotten so hot. And the water is heating up in our lives, guys. It's literally heating up. And they will tell you that everything is well. They said, and the scripture tells us, stop believing people when they tell you things are all is well, because they lying to you, which they are. They are lying. Things are not well. If things were well, we would not cut on the YouTube every day, and every time you turn around, there's an earthquake. I mean, people preparing for tsunamis. We got floods coming out of anywhere. We don't even know where the water comes from, but all of a sudden the floods are out. That's because something is going on underneath the earth. The platelets, the platelets, when they shift, things start to happening, and that causes the water and everything else to do these crazy things. We need to be paying attention. Why we don't, I don't know. But we better start doing something. Thank God I'm inland far enough that the river will not rise up and swoop over here and just tear everything down. I thank God for that. But the ones that are closed are going to have to leave from where they are. And when I say when you need to go inland, you need to go outland. You inland. Get out of that land and go somewhere else, because all of that is gonna go. So we have got to wake up. The scripture's here for a reason. We talk about different things about the things that the prophet said in the olden days is over with. The devil is alive. Isaiah's Isaiah's stuff is still coming to pass. He prophesied. I don't know how long Isaiah been dead, but he been dead. He dead way longer than I've been alive. And the things with Ezekiel, we are at the stage where they are trying to differentiate Gog and Magog. Gog is the head, but Magog is the rest of what's going on. Excuse me. 1 second. Yeah, I had to catch that. It's buzzing. So God and make God. And Ezekiel been dead just as long as Isaiah. But we're down here. Daniel. Daniel, go, God, this what's wrong with us. We don't know anything because we too lazy to read. Go read Daniel. Daniel then told you about the red heifers that they got to sacrifice. They gotten everything together to get ready to reconstruct this temple for the third time. They're gonna be in peace for 3.5 years, and then all hell is gonna break out. And Daniel tells them in the scripture they're gonna have to be running to the mountains for their life. That is coming. Go read Daniel. Nobody wants to read, but everybody wants to sit up in the church and let the pastor tell them a lie. And the first thing they do is holler, "Amen." If you don't know what he's talking about, don't say amen, because he could be lying. He or she. But we need to read. Just like kindergarten. You didn't want to read, you didn't want to spell, but you had no choice. That teacher gonna make you spell your name. You're gonna practice writing your letters till you know your name and look at those letters until you recognize that Nancy is my name. I know I had to go through it through kindergarten. So we are going to have to read this word. Don't just tote a Bible under your arm and got everybody thinking that you are well versed in the word. I'm not well versed in the word, but I tell you what, I picked this up and read it. I've been reading it since I was about 14 years old because I want to know everything that was in there. But just to read it is one thing, it's another to study it. Timothy tells us to study to show yourself approved. Second Timothy, a workman that needs not be ashamed, but rightly dividing the word of truth. We can't rightly divide no word if we don't know no word. If we don't know none of this, what you divide? Lies? Guys, let's get real. We have no choice. We have no choice. We got earthquakes everywhere. And I watched this man on Google, and I'm not Google, but YouTube, he showed where the hot spots were under Yellowstone. He showed where the hot spots were pertaining to the different earthquakes, the hot spots that were under the Madrid fault line. The Madrid fault line is the one that I'm concerned about because it hit from Arkansas all the way down to the Gulf. So there are hot fire pockets up under Alabama and so on and so forth, going down through there, coming from, following the path of the Madrid, but it had shifted a little bit because Alabama wasn't in it, but now it has shifted so that the top part of Alabama is in. But it doesn't matter whether Alabama is in it or not, because at that fault line, at the Madrid fault line erupts, and it's been rumbling, just like Yellowstone, just like Mount Rainier over in Washington State, just like they've been rumbling. They are waking up. And so they're asking the question, there's been rumbling under Yellowstone. They go, what is it? Is Yellowstone preparing to do something? Scientists already know Yellowstone's preparing to do something. The only people that don't know it's preparing to do something is you. They're not going to tell you because they don't want to create a panic. I would much rather tell it and create a panic so people will get some mentality about them, start throwing some stuff in some cars while they will start and get out of Dodge, because it's going to take off almost half of the United States. It's going to be messed up. Go and Google it. You got to read for yourself. It'll tell you how many miles the ash will shoot up into the air and fall back down. It's going to tell you how thick. There's not going to be any oxygen in the air, so it's going to be hard to breathe unless you have a mask on. They tell you, but the reason we don't know anything is because we will not read. And I don't understand. Why not read? You are not so busy every day that you cannot pick up that Bible and read a couple of scriptures or go read a spiritual book, to get you some insight on you strengthening your mind, because we got to have the mind of Jesus Christ. We can't just keep running around here acting like, I don't even want to say, but we just can't keep running around here acting any old way. When God has put it out, it's plain and simple. He got it out there plain and simple. And he talked about earthquakes and different things in the Bible. He talked about them in the Bible. They're in there. So we think that since they were earthquakes in the Bible, what do you think happened when the dungeon shook with what's his name over there when the God when when Paul and Silas was in the dungeon? What do you think happened? Do you think just the you know something crazy happened for the jails to the doors to come off the hinges and every jail cell door was open? What do you think happened? That was an earthquake. They've been happening since then. They're happening now. We need to wake up because if we do not wake up, we are going to be lost. We're going to be dead if we don't get an understanding of what's going on. And these things are coming. They're coming. They're going to be happening before Jesus returns. You just have to think that these things that's gonna go on before he get here, he may be thinning us out. The world already over here talking about the different things that are going on. When they call these floods and stuff and all these people die, the world don't care because they say it's too many people in the world anyway. So that's their purging when they start doing this crazy stuff. But we sit over here and we sit over here and act like everything is going to always be this way. Guys, do you not know? Look here. I am 64 years old. You see my hair now? I have changed. My hair used to be jet black. So things change, whether in the body or whether in the earth, everything changes. I mean, I don't walk as fast as I used to. I'm 64. I'm not supposed to, and I'm not going to try. But while I was 20, 15, all that backward flips and all that stuff right there, I did all of that, but I'm at an age now where I don't want to do any of it anyway. Even if it crossed my mind, I would hurry up and wipe it out because I'm telling you, going into senility if you think you're going to run and do a cartwheel or a backward flip. So we got to realize everything is changing around. Everything has already shifted. The only thing that hasn't shifted is us. Why? Because we stubborn. We want to stay over there with our head in the sand and we don't want to move and we think that it's just going to pass by us. The devil is a lie. Ain't nothing going to pass by you. We are all a part of this. If we're still here, we are experiencing what's going on, whether we like it or not. The good, the bad, and the ugly, all of it is going on at one time, all around the earth. Everything is happening. Indonesia, they had an earthquake the other day, and then yesterday, well, that was yesterday, then somebody else had one the day before. Then they're talking about earthquake today, and they're talking about the flash floods. Matter of fact, my weather radio went off this morning talking about a flash flood has been issued for somewhere. I was trying to listen, but I was in prayer closet at the same time, but I knew it was a flash flood. So we just got stuff going on everywhere. It's everywhere. Sometimes it's just, and I ain't got no lie to tell, it's overwhelming because it's hitting all the time, all the time. Can y'all not feel that? You got to be able to feel it. You're going to have to be able to discern what's going on. Pharaoh didn't discern what was going on, but he sent for his little soothsayers, his little dreamers and stuff. Come on, tell me this dream I had. Y'all need to tell me something. And so they couldn't tell him. Oh, king, I don't know. I have no idea. None of them knew. But there is a man, Joseph. Went and got Joseph, cleaned him up and brought him up there. And Joseph told him exactly what was going on. And you need to prepare. So since Joseph told him, if you don't know the story, go read it. Genesis chapter 41. Joseph got everything. He went around gathering everything, food and stuff, the cornmeal and all that stuff, whatever they ate back in the day. I don't know, but he went and gathered so that they would be able to eat for those 7 years. And people were coming from all around, even his daddy and his brothers that had sold him into slavery, they had to come as well to get them something to eat. Put you up some. If you got children, you have shame on you if you're not putting up stuff for your children, and especially the little babies, the young ones. If you are not putting up anything for your children, the only person that's going to be held accountable for those children's safety and their whether they have food or not, their nourishment is you, not them, because Scripture tells us that you've done it to the least of my little ones. You done it to me. So you're going to have to stand in judgment for that. But we need to get ourselves situated. We need to get ourselves together because whether we like it or not, It's been thousands of people on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, talking about the famine, talking about the darkness that's going to come because when that earthquake erupts and shoot that ash into the sky, it's going to blot out the sun. It's just going to be dark. And you don't go outside because if you do, you're not going to be able to inhale that stuff that's in the air. So we're gonna have to wake up. Unless you satisfied and you stay in the house. If you in the house, you need to make sure you got everything you need to cover your windows. Make you got some duct tape. I bought extra duct tape because I know my brother's gonna need some. So I already told him to come and get his. So and make sure you got everything that you need because you're gonna need things to stop your drains up, so you don't want none of that. And go outside and turn off that gate valve to your sewage uh connection if you're on a sewer line. And see, we are. So I will have to go out there and turn that valve and cut that gate valve off so that if the water is off more than 72 hours, we won't have to worry about anything backing back up in our house where we gonna have to live. And I don't want to have to live and smell it at the same time. So you gotta go cut that off. You gotta get you order some little drain things for the bathtub so you can put it in there and twist it so it won't anything come up through those. And duct tape your sink stoppers down. You know how you pull it up and push it down. When you push it down, put some duct tape over it so it won't come up. Put a little duct tape over that little backlash hole at the back of your sink and stuff. I mean, it's a whole lot. You got get a whole. You got to prepare for catastrophe just as well as you have to prepare for anything else. Prepare for funerals. Prepare for graduation from kindergarten to first grade. Prepare for eighth grade graduation to ninth grade. Prepare ninth grade to 12th grade graduation. Prepare for college graduation. You prepare for all of that. The child's first prom. You prepare for your child getting their first car. You prepare for all of this stuff that is, when you tell the truth, it's of no concern. What you need to be concerned about now is getting everything. Get your physical house in order and get your spiritual house in order, because both of those are going to have to be situated. For those of us that haven't left yet, that we don't plan to leave, but should the Lord call us home, we gone. But those that we leave behind, we need to make sure they got what they need. I mean, we got to be concerned about other people other than ourselves. It's not about I, me, my. That's went out the window years ago. We need to be getting ourselves situated because this famine, this famine is coming, and it and things have sped up because I could not understand why 3 weeks, about a month ago, we literally had to start driving down the road with our lights on in the morning. At 5:30, 5:45, it's still dark. We literally have fell back. Fall back has come out of season, out of time, because it has never been the darkness that we have when we leave it here in the morning this time of day, because we should still be in spring forward. Have y'all noticed? Anybody noticed? We need to pay attention. God is steady showing us. He's steady showing us through the things that are going on in this earth. And there's so much going on. So much going on. Even the sun has changed. How many know the sun has changed? Because that sun that you get out there in that sun, you can't even stay out there a minute. That sun burns your skin. It burns your arms. If you ain't out there and you fully covered, uh, put some sunblock on your nose, because by the time you come in, if you think you're gonna go out there and stay for 30 minutes, you're just gonna be burnt up. So I didn't used to have to wear a sunblock. I didn't figure I ever would need to have to wear it, but you put something on your body now because that's not sun. That's not our sun out there. There's something different going on, and it's going on everywhere. And I keep trying to tell people, and other people are telling people the same thing, but we are not listening. And I'm not fussing because I want you prepared. I want you sit. I want you to be able to sit in your house knowing that you got a way to warm your food. You got a way to take care of your children. You got a way to do everything you need to do. And you got everything in your house that you need to cover your windows. I mean, get your safety precautions in the way, everything that you need, precautions in the way, whatever you need, however you choose to protect yourself, that's what you need to be doing. You need to be using those things because so much is going on. So much is going on. And if we sit and say there's nothing happening, we are fooling ourselves because the people on Capitol Hill know what's going on. Those people started preparing what probably at the beginning of this year or the middle of last year. They already started preparing, got everything situated, stocked up. If they didn't have a bunker dug in their backyard, they got one dug in there now. So whatever they need in order for them to be situated. Personally, I'm not gonna dig no hole and put no iron thing in there and go sit down in it. No, no. Because by the time I got out, to tell the truth, shame the devil, I would be dead. If I didn't die from a heart attack, who I was in there with, they would kill me. Because I would be so discombobulated. So I'm taking my chances with God. Whether God called me home before it happens or not, He when He called me home, I'm gonna be above ground. I can't get in no hole. I can't even get in an MRI machine without crawling up out of there on my elbows, busting out in a sweat. So I'm not digging a hole going underground. And people can say, you say that now. I say that because that's true. If I can't deal with being inside an MRI and it's above ground, you think I'm going to go underground? Oh my God, no. Take my chance with God. That's why I tell folks, guys, let's let's get our stuff together. We got to. It's so much that you need. I put a list out on one of my just a post. I put a list of stuff out that you need and stuff. And guys, if you don't like canning or don't know how to can, just just buy you stuff and stack it up. And don't let nobody tell you that canned food they expire. They just waiting on you to throw yours out so they can go dig in your garbage and get your cans because they know it don't expire. But as long as you got that mentality to think it does, I grew up in the 60s. If it was in the cabinet, even if it was the last can, it had been sitting there for 80 years. My mama opened it, cooked it. I'm 64 years old. Need I say more? Because it does not expire. FDA tells you, it may use a little consistency or something, but so far, everything I've eaten from what, 2000, it still tastes the same. So don't throw your food away. Now I know one thing you cannot keep, and that's brown rice. Why? Because the oil in it would cause it to go rancid. But we had got to make sure you got white vinegar, apple cider vinegar. Make sure you got every spice under the sun in your cabinet. Every spice, because every spice has healing properties. It helps the gut and whatever else you can chew cloves for toothache, ginger for your stomach. I mean, you can make your own oils and stuff. Oregano, make some oregano oil for different things. But every spice, get every spice, even if you don't know what it is, get it. Google and look up what it does. Print it out because you're not going to be able to be running back to YouTube to go, what, what does this one do? No, because that's not going to be there. It's going to be off. It's going to be utilities down. So just print it out or make a little short little, what we have to do outlines back in the day. You got your one, I call it an I, and then you got ABCD under that. Then you got 1, 2, 3. If you got to put 4, 5, 6, do it, but make your little bullets and everything, and just keep it in a folder so you'll know what each one of those herbs will do. But we're gonna have to get situated. You're gonna have to have water. I tell family members all the time, don't drink your water that you got put up. Drink your water out of you got a pitcher, you got the Brita pitcher, you fill it up, drink that water, but fall on deaf ears. Okay. I'm gonna tell you till I can't tell you. And then you're gonna wish I was able to tell you more, but I'm not gonna be able to because I'm not gonna play like Snoopy running around in the dark trying to get home, wandering through the pumpkin patch just to get you a bottle of water. I'm not going to do it. I'm not leaving the safety of my home for that, because I've told you over and over and over, and I've been saying this for years. I'm going to say it until people get it. And people are studying coming behind me saying the same thing. They're coming behind others saying the same thing. Everybody's saying the same. Everybody cannot be wrong. Everybody can't be wrong. If those that don't believe in God are stopped, why are the ones that believe in God not stopped? Isn't that a good question? Ask yourself. Because there's so much we need to do. There's so much going on. The plans that I have for my garden, that's how I know that that sun is not the sun. The plans I had for my garden, I would still be out there getting food out of my garden. This time last year, I was still picking greens and stuff out of my garden. I can't now. Everything dried and burnt at the end of April or the middle of April. Nothing. So I'm not planting the winter. I'm not. I already decided what I'm going to do. It's not going to have anything to do with whatever's going on out there. Nope. Because there's something going on out there that beneath the eye. And guys, they were talking about some kind of Pastor Chicalanti, or I can't pronounce it real good, but he was talking about somebody had died from a something screw worm, but it's actually, in actuality, it's a fly. But what it does is like man eating flesh. And that lady died, and I don't know all of the schematics about it, but you have to go over there and Google screw worm, and it'll show you a picture of it. And I'm going, oh my God, that so. I pray that's not the next one they put out there, but we never know. It's so much out there. Whooping cough. They even bought whooping cough out of the box, and you have to go through all this stuff to treat whooping cough now. So whatever. Make sure you get you gas masks. Get the extra little things that go with your gas mask. Make sure you get your hazmat suit. Everybody think I'm crazy, but I got me a hazmat suit in case I need to go out in it. But I doubt I will, but I got it just in case. I mean, make sure you get everything that you need. Make sure you got those N95 masks or whatever mask that you feel comfortable with putting on your face, or however, tie a shirt around your face. I mean, I don't know, whatever you choose to do, but make sure that you got what you need. There's a shortage on coffee for those of us that drink coffee. Go over there and get you some freeze dried, or get you some coffee beans and put them in a Mylar bag with a couple of oxygen absorbers, and seal it shut, and then iron it so the seal will close on it. Just make sure you got what you need. And I say the same things. And I got to the point that I don't even care what people think about me. All I need you to do is take heed and listen. You don't listen to me, listen to somebody, because the stuff that's going on out there, it is closer to our front door than we want to think. So we're going to have to get ourselves situated. Just go read Genesis 41. Genesis 41 goes through there and breaks down and tells you what happened, how long the famine lasted, what Joseph told and explained the vision that Pharaoh had, well, his dreams that he had, and he explained how it's going, everything, it's going to dry up. This ain't going to last. All this is going to run out. He said, but you got 7 years to get your stuff together. It's what he was telling them. Basically, gather everything you can for these 7 years, because the next ones that come, the 7 years of famine that come, it's going to be hard. And God don't want you going through no hard time. That's why he got so many people saying the same thing. He don't want you going through no hard time. He wants you where you need to be to have stuff situated for the time that you need it. And we all need to. If it ever were a time we need to wake up, that time has passed. We need to be awake now. We need to stop walking around sleep, because the time out for walking around sleep. We need to walk around with our eyes, instead of them being wide shut, we need to walk around with our eyes wide open. Stop shutting your eyes to things that are going on. If you see something in the grocery store, Thanksgiving is coming up in November, Christmas in December, and uh, you see the stuff that you need, you can go over there and get it. Don't complain about the price, because you could have bought it 2 or 3 years ago for the same price, but now they don't raise the price of it. You got to pay what they selling it for. Just like I had to pay what I paid for that celery seed, $6. I didn't want to pay $6, but I spent 12 because I bought two of them because I needed celery seed. Now I don't have to hunt any. Now, I can just grow my celery and let my celery go to seed, and boom, I got my celery seed. But since I didn't have any celery go to seed, I had to buy some. So get what you need. And you like sage in your dressing, and you like all these other different things like cinnamon, apple cider vinegar. Some people like sugar, some people like the what do you call it, Splenda and stuff like that. Go get what you need to get. The price is up, but if it's still in the store, it should not matter what the price is right now. But you need to worry about what the price gonna be come January, literally. So, but guys, think about it. The warehouses are thinning out. The trucks coming in, but when the trucks go to the warehouse and ain't nothing in the warehouse, the trucks ain't gonna come back empty. They just ain't gonna come back. And we just got to realize that we have been a wasteful nation for years. We would much rather throw food in the garbage and put a lock on the garbage so that the homeless can't even go in there and even get the food you done discarded. You discard it because there's a date on there, and that date doesn't mean anything. But we do it because FDA says that we can't keep it past this date. You can't keep it past that date, but you can give it to somebody that can use it. We are so wasteful. So now the rubber finna hit the road. Now it's gonna hit the curb. Where we were wasteful, we should have repented. But now we are wasteful, and things have changed. They're going to continue to change, whether we want to believe it or not, whether we like it or not. We are going to have to get what we need and get ourselves situated, and learn how to bake bread. You don't have to have a bread machine. You got a hand. You can stir it, or you got a mixer with a bowl on there. You can mix it in there. Make sure you stock up on the yeast and everything that you need for it. But guys, we got a lot. There's a lot happening. Go read on the volcanoes. All of a sudden, the one in Russia hadn't erupted in 500 years. 500. But you saw what it did the other day. It erupted. We sitting there thinking Mount Rainier ain't finna do nothing, but I got news for you. Yes, she is. We think Yellowstone ain't gonna do nothing. Yes, she is. All the animals have left Yellowstone, and they tried to say that it was the migration season. I got new bears don't migrate; they hibernate. So, and it's not even the season for the bears to be hibernating. So somebody lying somewhere. All the elk gone. Something's going on. We need to wake ourselves up. And I don't want to be sitting up and looking in my backyard and see a bear trying to climb over my fence, because he hunts some food. Leave them where they are. But we got to wake up. We got to wake up. We got to realize, we got the rabbits out there that they got this fungus growing on their face now. They done put so much out there. The deers have the wasting away disease. They put that stuff out there. They don't want you to have no meat. They don't want you to have no food. They want to continue to tell you that things are well and things are not well. And we need to have us some meat. I don't care if I ain't got nothing but some bean juice and a whole cake of cornbread. That's a meal. And if that's what I have to eat through the whole thing, then so be it. I have something. Just have something. If you ain't got nothing but beans and rice and some cornmeal, you don't have to have any meat. Trust me. I went on a fast from meat for 31 days. You can do it. You don't have to have any meat. You don't. If people tell you do, they lying. All that meat does is raises your cholesterol, causes your arteries to, get that plaque, thick stuff in them. You don't need it. But make sure you are getting you a little exercise in 30 minutes a day. You can walk through the house, speed walk for 30 minutes back and forth, or put you on a little aerobic exercise or something. Just do a little bit of something. Sitting around only causes you to be lazy and just causes your heart to slow down and everything, flab and everything. Next thing you know, you can't even walk from the chair to the mailbox. So let's get ourselves together, guys, because things are changing, whether we want to change with them or not. We have no choice. It's moving with or without us, and then we just have to play catch up. And then trying to play catch up is rough. So let's go and read Genesis chapter 41, and it'll tell you about the famine, what he did, and then consult God and ask God, how do you want me to proceed in this, Father? Which way are you leading me? Go ask him. He'll let you know. And over in Amos 8 and 11, go and read it for yourself. Read the whole chapter of Genesis 41. Read that whole thing. And if need be, read all of Amos chapter 8, not just the 11th verse. But there's a lot coming, and I don't understand why people are not telling people that they need to be getting themselves situated. Some churches are telling people, the Lord told me to tell you that there's a famine coming, so you need to get your stuff together. Some churches, not a lot, and I don't understand why. Because this famine is coming. This famine is for real. The shortages are going to be astronomical. And we are not going to get a lot of things back. So if we don't have them when we run out, we will never get them again. But that's me, guys. Y'all just take it to God. You don't have to take anything I say for anywhere. Pray to God. Take the word to God and ask the Lord to show you. He'll show you in a dream, a vision. He'll send it to you in the scripture, however. But just take it to God. You do not have to take my word. I just get on here and I say what the Lord tell me to say, and then from there, I go on about my business because I know something's going on, and it does not take a rocket scientist to tell me. You can look at it every day. You look outside, you see things have changed. You see things are changing. But guys, y'all have a blessed evening. I'm gonna get off because it's almost time for me to take my jars out of my canner. But I'll talk to you later.